What the fuck? An Israeli and Chinese national are tied to a fraud scheme importing and relabeling COVID test kits, alongside a white warehouse lab with live animal testing, multiple pathogens, a cache of weapons, and unknown substances, raising unresolved questions about what they were planning. Bro, what the fuck? This is crazy as fuck. Alright, so this is breaking drop site news. This isn't just some bootleg shit on Twitter. This is some real ass shit. Shout out Ryan Grimm. An Israeli citizen was arrested in Las Vegas after police found a cache of weapons, lab equipment, and more than 1,000 samples of unknown liquids at a home tied to a widening biosecurity investigation, the Los Angeles Times reports. This shit crazy as fuck, for real. Appreciate you sitting this shit. Ori Salomon, 55, is accused of illegally possessing firearms and improperly disposing of hazardous waste. Authorities said officers in protective gear removed materials from the home, which were consistent with those found in a separate case in Bruh, they were trying to take me out. They were trying to take me out. The investigation began when a foul smell led officials to a warehouse in Reedley, where they discovered a hidden lab containing thousands of biological samples, 1,000 lab mice, and evidence of at least 20 infectious agents, including SARS, hepatitis, and dengue? Bro, they were trying to give these niggas, they were trying to give us SARS. They really had the Wuhan lab in this bitch. They literally were trying to start Resident Evil for real. They really had the motherfucking Wuhan lab in, they brought that shit to Las Vegas. Prosecutors say Chinese national Jie Zhu ran a scheme from there, importing COVID tests from China and selling them as American-made. In a congressional report flagged over 1.3 million in unexplained payments from Chinese banks tied to the operation. Investigators found that he had listed a Las Vegas house as bail collateral and called it hundreds of times over the past year, making a key lead to police to raid Sugar Springs Drive property, where Ori Salomon was identified as a manager. Bro, what in the fuck? There was other pathogens there, including HIV, malaria, COVID-19, and Ebola. These niggas had the fucking Ebola strand. Dude, this should be fucking breaking news. Like, why the fuck is anyone not concerned that there was like an Israeli and Chinese dude out here with fucking Ebola, HIV, malaria, COVID-19, and fucking, what's the other virus? It was another crazy one. Yeah, hepatitis. And SARS. Bro, what the fuck? Is this not like... Is this not news? Like, why the fuck has no one fucking reported on this shit? I don't even know what the fuck to look up. Malaria? Dude, they're talking about feds bust multiple marijuana grow houses in Vegas? The fuck? I don't even know. Like, how the fuck are you able to bring Ebola? Is this the same thing?
The FBI and Las Vegas police raided what they're calling a suspected homemade biological laboratory. And now we're learning this could be connected to a similar incident in California. Let's go live to CBS News correspondent Chanel Call.
This is a month ago, too.
She's in the newsroom for us today. And Chanel, what can you tell us about these raids and how investigators are connecting them?
Well, Muga, good to see you and good morning to you. So we have this video that was released to us by Las Vegas Metro Police this weekend.
I think this might be the same shit because it literally ties California case to Las Vegas case, homemade biolab. But Why the fuck is this not in more headlines? Maybe they
And it
didn't
essentially
identify the people at this time.
shows how and when this all unfolded. This happened early Saturday morning at about 6 a.m. And what you're looking at here is police on the scene. There were multiple different agencies.
Bro, they were literally about to give us some fucking chemical warfare ass shit going on, bro.
That showed up as part of this operation. There was the FBI, there was hazmat crews, there was a
This is what Kash Patel's supposed to be in charge of, and I can't trust anything that Kash Patel's supposed to be fucking doing after this.
SWAT team there, and they converged on this home. They say they've arrested one person, and they also say inside Mugo, they found a possible biological lab. Here's more from the sheriff.
Our teams went inside and found evidence of possible biological material, including refrigerators with vials containing unknown liquids.
Maybe this time they didn't know what the fuck was in the liquids, but the liquids ended up being HIV, SARS, fucking COVID, Ebola.
A lot of questions that we have that need to be answered, a lot of work that is ahead of us that needs to be done. We have one suspect who I was informed that we were taking him into custody as we were.
That was the Chinese. No. That was the Israeli dude.
We're walking in here. We're not prepared to release any information on that.
Yo, this is crazy as fuck. And
Mugo authorities also say that they searched a second Las Vegas home about a block away from that first home that we just showed you this past weekend as well. They said at that second home, they did not find any indication there was another biological lab. And at this point, they also say, Mugo, there is no imminent threat.
This is what that shit was looking like. They just had that shit in a bunch of garbage cans, bro. What the fuck?
To the public, but this is fascinating because authorities are now looking into whether or not there's a connection to a similar case that we saw unfold in California.
They just had that shit written, bruh. There's the SARS COVID-2 samples. They had syphilis. There's the dengue virus, or however the fuck you pronounce that shit, bro. Like, what the fuck?
California a couple years ago. There, they say police had entered this home.
Why is this from the Chinese Communist Party?
Also found a possible biological lab. The interesting point here, Mugo,
Yo, the fucking rats had that fucking Ebola on them, twin.
is that Vegas home.
This shit really is some Resident Evil shit, bro. Like, what the
Police
fuck?
just raided this past weekend, has an LLC, according to county records, it actually matches the California home, which they raided 2 years ago. Officials say they did find a biological lab inside that.
That loud pack, that's that pack they're gonna send you with fucking to die in like fucking 48 hours, bro. That Ebola pack be hitting different and not in a good way.
At home, and they also say, Mugo, they found, quote, pathogen labeled containers, so things like dengue fever, HIV, and malaria.
That's how you fucking pronounce it, but they had dengue fever, HIV, and malaria, bro. Type shit you get from sleeping with fucking Trump, no Diddy.
Labeled containers, so things like dengue fever, HIV, and malaria. They also found over 1,000.
Yo, even the person said, what?
Dengue fever, HIV, and malaria. They also found over 1,000 mice there that they believe were being tested. So,
bro, they were trying to take me out, bro. This was a Mossad operation. They were trying to smoke your boy.
A Chinese citizen, we understand, was apprehended and charged in that federal case that took place in California a couple years ago. And now authorities in Vegas are trying to see whether there's any connection between that case and this home that they just raided this past weekend.
And it looks like there was a connection, and it was a fucking Israeli citizen, bro. This shit is crazy as hell. They're gonna see his Israeli passport and let him go home. Yeah, on that Alan Dershowitz shit, bro. Yo, Alan Dershowitz actually said some crazy shit that I want to actually get into
Vegas
after this.
Goodness, Chanel, that story just keeps getting more interesting and interesting as you kept going on.
Interesting.
I wonder what we're going to learn as the time goes along. And
yeah, so what we learned was the motherfucking, we learned that it was a Israeli citizen who also got arrested. I guess this happened last month, but then they ended up finding the Israeli resident today, and he was arrested. And it seems like Israel was trying to do a fucking false flag or some shit. Or just give us fucking rats that have malaria, HIV, and Ebola. Like, imagine you fucking catch a rat and that shit has like the fucking worst 3 viruses that you can